Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm countering Noam Chomsky's view on the country of Chile, as well as September 11th. And they're kind of intertwined on this, and let me explain. Okay. On September 11th, 1973, which Chomsky says is worse than September 11th, 2001. On September 11th, 1973, democratically elected Chilean president, I will consent that he's democratically elected, that he was, a guy by the name of Salvador Allende. He was a Marxist. He adhered to Marxism. He was elected to Chilean Congress first, and when he was in Congress, he adhered to the principles of Marxism and defended it. He was democratically elected in the 1970s, and he allied himself with Fidel Castro. There's a speech that Allende made to his people, and Fidel Castro was there. You can look up it on the internet where you type in Salvador Allende con Fidel. That's Spanish for Salvador Allende with Fidel. Okay? And a lot of the slogans that Allende said was long live the workers. Okay, I have a good relationship with working class people here in the United States, but the signs long live the workers usually is associated with communism. And I know plenty of working class people that are not associated with communism. That's not what I'm saying. But because of his Marxism, the U.S. had a right to be concerned because he expelled a lot of U.S. copper companies in Chile without any sort of compensation. He kicked them out of Chile, didn't give them the proper compensation when he kicked them out. There was a poor mismanagement of the economy when Allende was in there. And so Augusto Pinochet, who became Chile's dictator, he was a general at the time. He organized a coup, and the American CIA was not involved. They were not involved, but the Americans knew about it. They didn't do anything to interfere. Okay, I'm going to consent to that. And the military got to Allende's palace on September 11th, 1973. Well, Salvador Allende committed suicide. Okay, how he committed suicide was he killed himself with an AK-47. That's a Soviet-made rifle, as most people know. It was a gift to him by Fidel Castro. Okay, Fidel Castro allowed the Soviet Union to place ICBMs in Cuba, and Cuba is 90 miles away from the United States. All right, so let's think common sense here. Allende allied himself with Fidel Castro. Castro gave him an AK-47 as a token of friendship. Castro allowed the Soviet Union to put ICBMs in Cuba. Also, Castro allowed the Cuban military to help train Bernard Cord, Marxist leader of Grenada. Not now, but in the past, 1980s. He allowed the Cuban military to train Bernard Cord's military. And Grenada is in the Caribbean as well, very close to the United States. Okay, the United States had a right to be concerned about that situation because when Pinochet took power, the United States eventually helped oust Pinochet from power, brought Chile back towards democracy, and actually the vast majority of anti-Americanism in Chile right now is from the far right and in some of their military circles. Now, nothing against conservatives and nothing against the military. I'm just saying Chile went from democracy, then to military dictatorship, then back to democracy. And over 50% of Chileans now have a favorable opinion of the United States. That's higher than any Latin American country. And Chileans are happy that the United States helped oust Augusto Pinochet from power because Pinochet was running the country like a dictator. And Chomsky does not talk about that. He just talks about how Allende was overthrown, how Salvador Allende was overthrown. So you don't get the whole picture, okay? And so that in no way is worse than September 11th, 2001. The way Chomsky says it's worse is he says, let's say Al-Qaeda goes to the White House, takes down the U.S. flag, and puts up the Al-Qaeda flag. Well, in Chile, they have a democracy now. So if you want to use that comparison, Al-Qaeda would have went to the White House, raised the Al-Qaeda flag, but years later, the U.S. flag would be flying again. Don't get the whole story from Chomsky on that. And it's very easy for Chileans to come to the United States. They have They're working on getting a visa waiver program for Chile. And very few Latin American countries other than Chile have that. So, go ask the people of Chile what most of them think of the United States. Get positive reviews. So anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless and bye-bye. Bye-bye.